Disney's wokeism is not just in their pushing of content in order to try to subvert the culture. They're also actively censoring works now, works that are seminal to the company's history. And this is absolutely crazy news. I'm surprised it's really not being reported on anywhere yet. We got to give some props to Bleeding Fool for breaking this news story. And we'll get into it in just a second. But Scrooge McDuck is no good. All right. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. This is my book, Flying Sparks, Ultralight Beams, which is something that probably would be censored by Disney. It's wholesome. There's nothing to it other than the fact that it's a superhero story that is something Marvel or DC would have produced like in the 80s or 90s. And of course, you can't do that anymore. You can't have fun superhero stories anymore. So please check this out. We are making comics and trying to be the change in culture to do something different. That link's in the description below. Only 48 hours left on this, so please don't miss the Kickstarter. Appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. All right, here's the story from Bleeding Fool. Woke Disney bans Don Rosa's Uncle Scrooge McDuck stories. Now, Don Rosa was the artist on Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck comics for a long time. He's done work on the character, which is considered some of the best out there, and he really came into this as a fan. I mean, he's somebody who read the original comics that Disney was doing in the 40s and 50s with Carl Barks, who was kind of the guy who made these whole duck characters into something special that we know of today. And he really wanted to just be absolutely faithful to that vision that Carl Barks was doing. And so he did so. Now, Carl Barks in his stories had a lot of course, like 40s and 50s tropes. So, the ducks would go and face the Injuns, and of course, that's racist today. You can't have the Washington Redskins football team anymore, right? You can't have the Cleveland Indians anymore, right? And so, of course, those Disney stories have to get erased. So what was going on here, here it is, Don Rosa received an email that 2 of his classic stories will never be reprinted or published as part of collections again. The 2 stories are The Richest Duck in the World and The Dream of a Lifetime. It's most likely that The Richest Duck in the World being called out is actually the story of the empire builder from Calisota. The story is sometimes referred to as The Richest Duck in the World. Both that story and The Dream of a Lifetime include Bombi the Zombie. Now, Bombi the Zombie is a character that it is like a witch doctor sort of thing from that has this sort of I guess insensitive cultural archetypes to it. Now, it's something that again, it's just a character and it's just something funny and it's fictional, so there's really no reason to care about this whatsoever. And like you see here, it's a reference to a 1949 Carl Barks story, which was one of the original ones here. So Don Rosa replied to this, which is absolutely crazy news. Don Rosa says, "I already see many people posting get well quick wishes with something else. I received an email from one of my many publishers, something else to discuss as part of the ongoing commitment to," here it is, guys, "diversity and inclusion." Now, diversity and inclusion, of course, means you can't have any viewpoints that aren't within the checked box. You can't have any character depictions from another culture which do not match the corporate board approved box. And so there's no diversity in it. There's no inclusion in it. It's actually just exclusion and anti-diversity, making a homogenous monoculture. And that's exactly what they're trying to do everywhere at this point. So here it is. As a result of this, some of the stories that do not align with their values, their values, all right, grooming, will no longer be published. This applies to 2 of your classic stories. And here we are. Here it is. I wonder what other duck stories are now banned. If you go back to the Carl Barks stuff, which are beautiful, beautiful works, you know that there's going to be some banned stuff there too. Maybe mine, maybe not. Obviously, all 12 chapters of my Life of Scrooge McDuck are now banned because they can't be published without the final chapter. Now, one of these is the final chapter of that. Very sad. I won't even comment on what this will mean to the collector's market. Of course, a lot of cool collections have come out of these books, guys, and they are honestly, if you've not read the Don Rosa or Carl Barks, Donald Duck, and Scrooge McDuck books, I'm not just saying this. Like, they are really some of the best comics out there, period, ever. You should hunt those down immediately and grab those collections. Make sure you have all of them. They're well worth the read. They're well worth rereads. These guys are geniuses in the comic book level, like have never existed before. So check those out. So here it is. Of course, fans are expressing disappointment, and here it is. Here's the Bombi the Zombie, and as you can see, he's a witch doctor. He's got a voodoo doll. Oh no, that's racist. It's amazing how these people exist at all in the world. I mean, if they just get this triggered by a panel, which is just a funny little comic book and not real at all, but that's the world we live in 2023. That's how Disney is censoring culture and revising their old content to try to erase their own history. All right, leave a message down below in the comments for what you think about this. Love to hear from you. Hit that like and subscribe button and make sure to back Flying Sparks. Support alternative comics away from the Disney and Warner Brothers monoliths. We need your help, and we appreciate you guys for being there. See you.